Hi, welcome. I'm Sarah D.
I'm Dr. D.
This is Dr. D.
I remember who I am. I'm old.
So we're going to have conversation number 104, and it's an economic conversation. And the thing that I would like to chat with you about today is something that has concerned me and another thing that has concerned other people. You've explained one of them to me before, which are gas prices. And we could start there.
So when you say gas, you mean gasoline and
Gasoline,
not
petrol.
petrol. Okay, gasoline.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Right. Okay.
I mean, the price.
High octane or
it
doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
Okay.
The price of gas. Now, the price of gas is, what is it now? 3 something? And we're in New York.
Yeah, we're in New York, so it's probably about $3.35 or $3.40 a gallon.
And last year at this time it was
Much less.
It was much less, and so
Probably under 2. It might have been at 2.
so there are some people that are maybe upset about that.
Yeah, I'm certain there are. I prefer the things I have to buy cheaper than more expensive.
So why? Could you tell me why they're higher?
Well, so there's several things that you have.
I mean, do you know why?
I can.
Need to get. He has a ball up. You know those crystals.
Oh, I have a crystal ball.
Yeah, he blows smoke into.
I blow smoke into the crystal ball. No, I blow smoke onto the program.
Okay, so what is it? Why?
Well, there's so gasoline in the United States is in a marketplace.
Okay.
Right, so the price of gasoline is determined by two sides. There's on one side, there's the people that take oil and refine it and turn it into gasoline and ship it to pumping stations where we can then buy it for our motor vehicles.
Okay.
And then there's the people that have motor vehicles that want to drive to work or want to drive to wherever, right? So
To grandma's house.
grandma's house. Yes. So those are the two sides of it. There's the supply side and there's the demand side. And those two sides come into balance at a given price. Producers are willing and able to bring a certain amount to the marketplace, and consumers are willing and able to take a certain amount out of the marketplace. Now, if consumers want to take out 10 and producers only want to bring in 5, then only 5 get sold.
Are you talking about 10 gallons or just?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Some number.
Yeah, more. Just
Right. So if
the
consumers
consumer
want
wants
more
than the producer has,
at a price,
then the producer's going to have to say, well, who wants it more? And
Yeah,
they do
and-
that by pricing it higher.
right. And so what happens is that
Well, why
that
is there less gas now than there?
there isn't less gas now.
I mean, okay, is what you were saying is that the reason the prices are higher now is because there is less gas and consumers want more?
Well, so what's happened is that a certain amount of gas is being produced, and a certain amount of oil is being pumped, and a certain amount, all of that kind of stuff is
That has to do
happening.
with what you were talking about last session. You said something about that they couldn't have more oil refineries and stuff because people didn't want. Wasn't that?
Yeah, here in the United States, it's hard to
They
build a
can't
new
make
refinery.
bigger. So in order to make, so they can't make any more than they can make.
They make what they make.
Well,
They become more efficient at it. They're incredible chemists and great engineers and incredibly,
but there still is a
devious
limit.
people. There's probably a limit, yes.
Otherwise, they wouldn't just be able to make 5, and we want 10.
Right.
Okay.
But even if today we want 10, but most of the time we only want 5, they're just going to say, well, it sucks for you on the day that you want 10. Because why would they want to store up extra, make extra for stuff that's just going to sit in storage? It costs them money to store it as well, so they're not going to do that either.
Okay.
Right? So the deal is
There'll be a flow that kind of somehow.
right. So the flow in and the flow out have to match, and there's a price that matches them, and
And that's why the price changes.
yes, the price changes to meet the flow in and flow out. Yes.
Okay, so it's more now, and
So what's the big
there's
difference?
there's
What's the big difference
there's nothing
now?
nefarious going on?
Oh, I'm certain there's all sorts of nefarious things going on. I'm certain. right? Of course, there's nefarious going on,
Well, good.
but probably none of
Gotta be
it's
a good story.
But none of it's meaningful,
Okay.
right? So the question is, well, what is it that's causing the flow out, the amount that consumers want to buy, to be larger than the amount that producers were making, right? So first we have to understand how flow in and flow out and prices work before we can go any further,
Okay.
right? And once we've got that, so if producers only want to produce 5 at a certain price and consumers want to buy 10 at a certain price, then the consumers are sitting there going, I want 5 more. It's just not there. So how do you seduce the producer into making more?
You want some candy?
Exactly, right? So you offer the producer some candy. And how do you offer the producer candy?
Higher price.
Higher price.
Hey, listen, I'll give you more money.
You give them more money, and what do? Oh, now I can make more.
Oh, because they can afford to make more then.
They can afford to make more then.
So
They can find a way to make more if you pay them to.
Okay. We just trust that. Well, they're going to want to. Okay. All right.
Right? So how do I seduce them into doing it? The price goes up. As the price goes up, what happens to the amount the consumer wants to buy?
Well, it is less.
It's less. And what happens to the amount the producer makes? It's more. It's still not a match. So the price goes up a little bit more, and the producer makes a little bit more, and the consumer buys a little bit less. And the price goes...
Why did you say it buys less, but your hand went up?
My hand goes up, but it's moving inwards in the less. The price goes up and down. The amount is out sideways.
Goodness. I didn't know that.
Right? Less, more.
You're doing
Price.
You're doing a graph in the air.
I am not. I don't see a graph.
Okay.
Right?
I didn't know the rules to the game.
And so the deal is that as the price goes up, the amount the producer is willing to make and the amount the consumer is willing to buy eventually comes into consideration with one another, and they're happy. And the market clears. And that's exactly the amount that the consumer wants to buy at the price that the producer is willing and able to make.
And so right now we're willing to pay that price.
Well, so the question is, what's changed from last year?
The price is higher.
What changed as well? Could you go out and party last year? You were locked down in your home. You couldn't drive anywhere. Stores wouldn't let you in. They'd shave your head and beat you with a stick if you tried to go to the...
Okay, but... So
you weren't driving your car.
I understand.
So you weren't buying gas.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of a sudden, the amount that the producers were willing to sell and the amount that the consumers were willing to buy were different, and all of it, so the price went down. So the consumers would buy more and the producers would produce less, the price went down. And then what happened?
Well, now more people are able to drive.
Right, I'm going back to work.
Yeah.
Right? I go to work every day now.
You don't teach at home anymore.
I don't teach from home anymore. I go to work every day. I'm no longer, if I'm a banker, I'm going in 2 or 3 times a week. Right? And everything's opening up, and so more driving is taking place, and therefore I need more gasoline. But the producers were making down here at this low price.
I know.
To seduce them to produce more, what do I have to do?
Well, you aren't the one who determined the price.
No, they don't determine the price. They see the price out there. The price is down here. I'm willing and able to make this much at that price. How many voice lessons are you willing to give it? $1 a lesson?
Depends on who it is, but none.
None, right? And if I want a lesson from you and I say, well, I'll give you $1. You go, no, ma'am.
Okay.
If it was me, right? But eventually, right, I would negotiate up the price, and then eventually you would, the whole thing would clear. It's exactly the same thing. Nobody sets the price.
I'm sorry, somebody sets the price.
No, nobody does.
That makes no sense.
The price happens.
There is a person who says it's happening this way, though.
No.
Oh, come on.
No, there isn't.
There's a corporate. Come on.
No.
Okay, you go somewhere. There's a. Who put the price in the?
How does the price on the pump change?
I don't know.
And why does it go up and down?
We're talking about that. That's
okay.
Your job.
Why does it go up and down?
Are you talking about when you're pumping gas?
Yeah. Why does the price of the pump change every day? Sometimes it goes up a couple cents. Sometimes it comes down a couple cents. Why?
I don't know.
Who's the idiot that doesn't know how to set the price right? There's somebody out there setting the price. They would set it. It would stay there.
Somebody. D. You're not. There's somebody.
I got it. Somebody is adjusting the number on the sign, but they're not setting the price.
Somebody above them is, though.
No. The market is.
I don't agree.
Let's say you want to teach voice lessons, and you're charging $600 a half hour,
Yeah.
and nobody is buying it.
Yeah.
So you've got this storage container full of lessons that nobody's buying. They're slowly rotting.
Yes.
Okay? So they're slowly rotting. So you either let them rot or do what?
Decide not to teach.
You can decide not to teach, or
you lower your price.
you lower your price. So you lower your price down to $200 a lesson. And now one of them sells.
I'm the one who's deciding to change it, though.
No, you're not. What's forcing you to change it?
I'm deciding to let the
no.
pressure chat me change
Yeah,
it.
you're the pressure. The pressure is changing it.
Okay, so there is a person.
No. There's a pressure.
There is a pressure.
And the person responds to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're swimming across a river. Your goal is to swim straight across the river, but the flow of the current causes you not to swim.
So you're saying that the person can only react and not respond?
Reacts to the conditions.
Otherwise, if they respond and say, no, the price is still going to be this, they wouldn't still have any more voice students or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exactly the same thing, right? It's the same thing with gasoline.
It's really
right?
interesting.
So, companies had gasoline.
Yeah.
People wanted to buy it. They didn't want to buy very much of it. The price was low. It cleared at $2 a gallon, let's say. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, we all had to go back to work.
Well, there isn't going to be enough gas, I guess.
How can there be enough gas?
They have to make more.
And how do you convince them to make more?
Well, they were making that much before.
Yeah, and they were charging that much for it before, too. Yeah. Back when all of us were working, we were paying $4 a gallon for gas.
Yeah.
Yep. And then when nobody was working, we were paying $2 a gallon for gas. And now that we're all working again, it's up to $3.50 a gallon, and it might get back up to $4. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's just kind of
just-
maybe the way it is. That's the way the pressure
Pushes it, yeah.
crumbles. Pressure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, you need to be.
Oh, and that's
uniform for
inflation, right? Because the price of gas went up.
that. It is inflation.
Yeah, wow, terrible.
And as far as inflation